Dr. Kemi of Nigeria. I'm Dr. Kemi Olunloyo, a retired Nigerian journalist, and this is Dr. Kemi J Docs. In this J Doc, I want to tell you about Femi Gbajabiamila. Femi was once the Speaker of the House of Representatives of Nigeria, and right now he's the Chief of Staff. Now imagine President Trump's Chief of Staff. No, don't even imagine, because it can't happen. Create a fake agency and had somebody run it. The 1.3 billion that they opened an account with the CBN said there was no account, that's a lie. President Trump is looking at all these things now. I'm just letting you know this exclusive. All right, I covered the White House in 2025. I have my own links into that White House and things I will tell you. President Trump is studying that Gbajabiamila case because 1.3 billion, a lot of that money also came from the World Bank. You have to remember what I told you about Pella. If Pella is rich in your eyes, he's rich and everything. Okay, in my eyes, a lot of that money that made Pella rich came from fraudsters who were giving him kickbacks. Now, Gbajabiamila wanted 600 million naira in kickbacks and he didn't get it. So he whistleblowed Adeyemi. This is not new. We knew about this. Any journalist in Nigeria will tell you they know, but they can't report it because they're working with the mainstream media. And the mainstream media is owned by the politicians. So at the end of the day, it's the same thing like what I told you about Pella. President Trump administration is looking at that money. At 1.3 billion, a good percentage of it came from World Bank funds. So now we have a mess. This is why Riley Moore, who is literally President Trump's pet, and his CPC agent, I don't want to laugh, and his CPC agent, country of particular concern, told you that he will be watching, we will be watching the elections closely because they have information and intelligence that the Tinubu administration is going to really massively rig. Why did Tinubu go to Abu Dhabi to go borrow money? For what? What infrastructure? He's borrowing money for the elections. And you already know Tinubu is going to open the gates of his house and the armored truck will enter and give people money, vote buying. I mean, you guys need to know these things. You guys are so daft and stupid that your lives are getting ruined by the minute. Even Shore, that the Rattles are so obsessed about, saying that, ever since Shore started talking bad about VDM, you were supporting him. Are you fucking mad? I haven't spoken to Shore for 7 years. I haven't seen Omoyele since he ran for elections. I haven't seen him since January of 2019 when I campaigned for him in Ibadan. I have not spoken to him. He got out of prison in 2022. Buhari locked him up. I have not spoken to him. All I know is that in 2022, 2 days before I left Nigeria, my phone was buzzing. It was ringing, and on the caller ID, it was Shore calling. And I told my son not to pick up. We were getting ready to go travel 2 days. I didn't want a conversation with anybody. Remember 2022, the year I didn't post? Okay, that's why. So he may have thought I was avoiding him or anything. I just didn't pick up anybody's phone call. And so now I found out that he ran in 2022, lost, and is running again. I just found out that Shure is running again. Shure has revolution now. We're supposed to reset Nigeria, not vote. You guys are so stupid. You'll be saying I'm insulting you. Don't you think you're stupid? Let me just tell you right now, okay? Gbajabiamila is now suing Adeyemi for defamation, 10 billion. Anytime you hear 10 billion, the politician ain't serious. Isn't it 10 billion Ribadu or whatever his name is once wanted to sue me for when I exposed all the EFCC atrocities when he was there? Did I apologize? No. Where's the case? No. Nobody even carried it. Only Sahara carried it. But at the end of the day, you must fight your politicians and reset Nigeria. Do you know the meaning of reset Nigeria? 15 years ago, was it 15 or 10 years ago, there was something called the Arab Springs. All the countries in North Africa reset their countries and they got rid of all their leaders. Do you know what they did? They didn't burn places. They didn't loot. They simply came out massively. Like how you saw the South Africans marching on March. Massive crowds like that. It started in where? Algeria, Tunisia, Egypt. They all got rid of their leaders. People there now are not the people that was there. Go and read about it. You have phones, expensive phones, but you don't know how to fucking use your phones. Read about the Arab Springs on Wikipedia. Nigerians, you're not serious, so now let me tell you about Baja. Femi is already a criminal. I'm not even going to say allegedly or anything. Okay, he tried to cover it up. Even Fanika Ide was trying to help him cover it up. That one's just doing it so he can get some reward. But let me just tell you something. I was in Atlanta in 2003 and I knew about that case. 2003 was one of the heights of my journalism career. Okay, I had communications, my blog, and I was an independent journalist, and many newspapers actually covered my work. Atlanta Journal Constitution, AJC, they covered my work. I think they still follow me on X. They covered my work. So is all the newspapers and television and everything. Some people I work with have passed away, sadly. Roy Marshall was a talk show host, producer at WSB. Jovita Moore was at WSB Television. Jovita died of cancer. Many of my friends are gone. So, like, if I go to Atlanta now, it's like going to Ibadan or Atlanta. Those two cities right there, my city and Atlanta, it's like everybody I know has died, you know. Ajimobi, Akala, everybody. You know what I mean? But if I could call them in heaven and say, oh yeah, let's talk about this story. It was a local story, and I'm really digging for the archives, which I may not find on the internet and possibly find on the 100th page of Google or library archives. But listen, Femi Bajabiamila was a lawyer. Some of you heard that he took his mother to Dubai and went to have her, was it 80th birthday? A lavish birthday when he was speaker and all that. You guys are stupid. You're supposed to know these things. Let me say this to you. If you don't know the background of somebody, investigate. If your media covers it up, because Nigeria is the home of suppressed news and underreported news. But in 2003, I moved to Atlanta. I was a journalist and a pharmacist at CBS. And I was doing PR for new artists. Ciara was one of the new ones. You know, Nicki Minaj, we saw her at the BET Awards. I met a lot of new artists in those days. But at the end of the day, that was the year I made $125,000. I was juggling three professions. An Atlanta woman called me and they did a profile of me. Can you imagine? Atlanta woman. So what happened is Femi was a lawyer. He had a client and the client won an accident case. See, accident cases in America are very easy for lawyers. Okay, they do adverts so they can get people that are injured in accidents, work, traffic, all that. Send them to the doctors. And then there's lawyers who work with those accident victims and make them fake stuff. There's a lot going on in accidental law. Some people have real injuries. I've had an accident case, real injuries. Remember my face? Like a third of my face was burned, second-degree burns. Okay, and I had to have plastic surgery on one side of my face, okay, this side. So at the end of the day, guys, I've been through a lot of trauma. You guys know that. But Femi now represented the client. When you get a settlement from the insurance company, the lawyer normally takes 30%. That was the rate then. I think it's still the rate. And then gives the client the rest. They issue you a check and you go, bye, thank you for your help. Femi received $25,000. Did not give the client the 30% and deposited all the money in his family's account. The client fought to get his money. Femi just ignored him. At that time, we didn't have internet or even cell phones, but he just never returned the guy. He stole the guy's money. The guy now sued. Femi Bajabiamila was convicted of fraud. His law license was suspended for 36 months. He couldn't practice law for 3 years. So at that point, okay, even if they give you the license back, I have a classmate, Diane McMurtry. She was a pharmacist like me, but she was selling drugs outside. Percocet and other pills in pharmacy. They suspended her license and finally revoked it. If they give you that license back, any professional license, you've already lost your name, so forget it. So the next thing is they pack up and they come to Nigeria and run for office. And that's what happened to many of them. Do you remember that doctor, the Texas doctor that messed up so many people's bodies on plastic surgery? He was the one that was running that Lekki plastic surgery clinic that Kennedy Okoko died in his hands. So billionaire Okoko with the liposuction. Guys, Bajamia Amila is a thief and he's a fraudster. Okay? So this is not surprising and shouldn't be surprising to you. He should be arrested immediately. Dr. Kemi of Nigeria. I'm Dr. Kemi Olunloyo, a retired Nigerian journalist, and this is